Hello, and welcome to episode 18 of Vessel and Voice Podcast. I'm your host, Kim Charlson. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking all about external validation. It goes right to the heart of something that I know we've all wrestled with from time to time in our lives. How do I stop needing external validation so I can finally step in to the version of myself I want to become? This is something that I have faced so many times personally. And especially when I started sharing more about my channeling work and my spiritual journey online, as I'm sure that you probably have found yourself in a similar position, that you would post these super heartfelt messages and then they would go nowhere. I have noticed of how much I have needed external validation in my life. And as my awareness has come to terms with that this is often a motivation for myself as I've been doing my spiritual work, the more that I have noticed that the seeking of external validation has led me out of alignment with my own soul. The more that I allowed myself to be shaped by external validation, the less and less I have been in alignment with who I really am. And in today's episode, Monty dives deep into why we need external validation, the energy behind it, and how we can start behaving differently by allowing ourselves to trust ourselves more rather than needing external validation. So Monty's message gets really to the root of everything, but it also talks about some of the ethical issues that we face when we start to say, well, society says we should behave this way, and I think that that's ethically correct. Yet there's this aspect of my soul that feels out of alignment with that and out of alignment with what society says is okay of mode of behaving. So let's go to Monty and hear his channeled wisdom for today's episode. The issue of external validation is one that many humans struggle with because of a variety of reasons. We are going to discuss the reasons why, as well as some solutions going forward for you to begin to change your energetic habits of seeking external validation. So let us begin first by understanding why you are seeking external validation and what it does for you energetically. At the core of why you are not fully expressing your soul all of the time, and the reason why you are not in the mode of creation from your soul every second of every day in human creation is because of fear. You fear that if you are always in the mode of creation from your soul, you will face rejection. Rejection of being unloved, rejection of not having the resources that you need, rejection of not being included in society in the ways that are beneficial to humans. Humans are, in a way, pack animals in the same way that many other mammals are. You need to be in a group to be able to survive. Even if all of your physical needs are provided for, there are still emotional and energetic needs that require you to be in community with other humans. Now, when it comes to the reasons why you feel as though you will be rejected if you are in the fullness of your soul, is because, as we have spoken about, your soul is a spectrum of continuums of different energies. And your soul grows by allowing yourself to be more fully within the energies that you desire, neutral in the ones that you do not care about, and moving the ones that you find undesirable either towards neutrality or towards desirable. This is your opinion of your own energy. As we have spoken about in previous episodes, as we have been discussing this concept, as you have been moving forward through your lives, human and otherwise, there have been collective understandings of what is an undesirable energy or a desirable energy. And at every single point, one energy that you have seen as desirable within your own soul of what you would like to express has been determined to be undesirable at some point. Now, there are some energies that maybe you have not encountered this with, and so those are easier for you to express, especially as if you have had many human incarnations, humanity has evolved, and some energies that were deemed undesirable are now deemed desirable. And so it is much easier for you to express those energies. And so you may find that a certain level of soul expression feels comfortable. And yet there are some aspects of your soul that feel difficult to express because of this fear of rejection, because you have the belief internally in your logic as well as within your energy that if you express those energies that society has deemed undesirable, you will be rejected, cast out, and not included in the community that you know energetically you need to survive. And because of this fear, you allow yourself to express undesirable energies that are very out of alignment with who you are because the society in which you live says, this is who you should be, this is how you should behave, these are the energies that you should create, and you suppress other energies that are more desirable for you because those are seen as energies that are undesirable, unwanted within your society, too much, maybe, or flat out wrong. Now, as we have said before, your soul growth is figuring out what you desire on that continuum and understanding what energies that you could keep it neutral and which ones still have yet to be transmuted. In every life, you are working on certain undesirable energies to transmute them to what you find more desirable. And some of that is the challenge of going against the grain while still being accepted by society, while still being able to gain the benefits of existing in community. Now, when it comes to seeking external validation, what this is that you are seeking validation that you will not be rejected, that you are going to get the benefits of living in human society. And what external validation truly is an understanding that you are compliant, that you are in alignment with what society that you live in deems desirable, that the external validation is saying, yes, we appreciate you, we like that, we want more of it. That is truly what external validation is telling you. We want more of the energy that you are bringing to us. But when you are viewing this from the aspect of your soul does not desire to create necessarily in response to what society says this is something we want more of. Your soul wants to create what it wants, what it desires. Now, there is a certain amount of understanding that this is actually not a selfish thing to do. Being the individual that you are allows the universe to experience itself in a way of your format, of your energy, your uniqueness. And so you are acting out the desires of the universe by allowing yourself to exist in the format that feels most natural to you. As well as when you allow yourself to radiate out to create the energies that you find desirable, you will suddenly change the society that you are in over time by attracting to you people who find that energy desirable. You will change your community. But if you are existing in a community that says that what you are is undesirable, you will find that you are constantly seeking that external validation. Now, it may also just be the belief that that external validation needs to occur. It could be truly what you desire, of the energy that your soul wishes to exude. But you feel as though if you do not exude that energy, then you will not be able to exist in society. And what it truly is that there are other energies that you feel within yourself that are undesirable, that you will feel at odds with within your current community. There is a community for every single soul. This is what you must understand. It is important to educate yourself that there are many different opinions within even humanity of what is desirable versus undesirable, and that by changing your internal energy, your community will also change in response. This may be the falling away of certain relationships, and some of those can be very difficult and very emotional. But allowing yourself to be the fullness of who you truly are, without regard to whether or not you are seeking external validation, allows you to grow, allows you to come into the fullness of your being. Now, this encourages questions about ethics and whether or not, say, for example, someone has a desire to express violence, that that energy is something that they feel truly within their soul is a desirable energy. And yet society at large has decided that violence is an undesirable energy. And we would agree from our perspective as a spirit being that violence does not serve a purpose in most instances. However, this energy can be used in different formats. And this is where you really have to allow yourself to think creatively. Violence can be used in different formats of that same energy to achieve goals that benefit the community on the whole. It can be in many different formats, many different ways of allowing this energy that you would say is undesirable to come forward in different ways, in different formats. There is no one format for any specific energy. And so we would offer that you need to allow yourself to think creatively of, I have been told that physical violence is undesirable, and yet I have this desire for an expression of this violent energy that I feel within myself, this rage. And so we would say that there are ways for rage, for this internal violence, to actually be quite sacred. It is the format that matters. And that allowing yourself to explore creatively different formats for the ways that you wish to express yourself can actually be beneficial for the community, rather than saying every format of that energy is undesirable and unethical because it harms others. This is not always true, but it requires you to change your mode of thinking, requires you to change the mode of creation within physicality to result in something different. Because we would offer that many of the times where that sacred rage comes forward is actually beneficial, but it is the format that matters. Now, looking at external validation again, when you decide finally to find the format that suits the energetic expression that you so desire, but that is out of alignment with the community that you live in, finding an acceptable format can help you exist happily within that community much more easily, as well as resolve that need for external validation that you say to yourself often when you have discovered this creative solution. Well, I have this desire that has been deemed undesirable, and yet, when I express it in this way in creation and in physical format, it is actually beneficial, and I can see the results of me channeling this energy in this particular format that is actually beneficial to the whole. That is where you can feel as though you are able to express your soul energies in a way that corresponds with who you are, but still allows you to live and coexist in the community that you need to. Now, there are issues, of course, that when you find that there are certain energies that there is no physical format that fits, that is when changing your community and inviting different individuals into your community, your essence, your energetic envelope allows you to find the people that you need. This is a difficult and challenging time for humans because moving from one community to another and ending those ties is very grief-filled. So give yourself grace if you're finding yourself in this moment. But know that when you allow yourself to instead feel the fullness of your soul, that need for external validation will fall away, and yet you will still find a way to serve the whole, of that you are being of service through the physical formats of the expression of your energy, while allowing yourself to be the fullness of who you are. We hope that this has helped you understand this a bit more of how you can begin showing up in your life without the need for external validation by explaining where this comes from and how to begin working with it. The last piece of guidance that we would give to you is that as you are moving forward and you say, I really wish someone would approve of this, or I would love to see more likes on my post, specifically in social media, and those other ways that you are seeking someone to give you approval. Ask first, does my soul approve of this? Then ask, does this serve my community in the physical format of this expression? If you can answer both to those questions, yes, then you are doing the service to the community through your soul's unique expression and are well on your way to finding peace within yourself, and peace within your community. We send you great love as you are encountering these challenges in your day-to-day life. That is all. The deeper that I have gone into my spiritual work, the more I have realized that a large part of my life I lived out of alignment with my soul. I was really hustling and pushing and allowing myself to seek that external validation of having the things that people said were valuable to have by doing the work that people said was valuable to be doing. And if you've been a listener for a while and you know my story, you understand that this is a large part of what shaped who I was and allowed me to constantly be seeking that external validation and yet feeling very unfulfilled in what I was doing. Of that, I got to the point where external validation was very validating. I had a lot of people saying, wow, it's amazing all the things that you've done, everything that you've built. You're so successful. And yet for me, that external validation never filled that deepness inside of myself that was craving something else. And as I have gone through my spiritual work, I have realized that what it was that I was truly missing was alignment with my own soul. It was not external validation or trying to always meet the requirements that everyone else had for me that was really going to give me that satisfaction in my life that I was looking for. And the more that I have done my spiritual work and the more that I have learned the energy of my soul, learned the energy that I like to create, that I like to be in, the more satisfaction I have felt, even when I'm not getting that external validation, even when my content doesn't go as far as I want, or my friends and family don't appreciate it the way that I would want them to, don't give me much feedback. It's okay because I know that I'm creating something in alignment with me, and that itself is satisfactory to me. It makes me feel that sense of fulfillment that I never got from external validation. One of the other things I want to point out about what Monty said is that there is a community for every soul. And I want to briefly explain a concept that my energy healer taught me. If we imagine that there is a plane of existence, and as we look at the plane from up above, we can see that there's different collections of energy in the plane. And different groups like to gather around those energies. And that's also why, even within spiritual space, we have different groups within that of different types of energies people like to work with and different practices that we like to do. As you are getting more in alignment with your soul, you will find that there is a group of people out there for you that is attracted to the energy that you're attracted to, but also attracted to the energy that's within you. They want to be around the energy that you are putting out. As you are more in alignment with your soul, this allows you to find that community. But it takes that a certain amount of bravery of saying, I'm going to act more in alignment with the energies that I desire, with the energies that I can feel within my soul, rather than I'm going to act in alignment with external validation to make sure that I am following that, what is very much a herd mentality. Here's a little check-in that you can use to start applying what you've learned today. The next time that you're about to do something in your life, whether it's posting something online or making a different decision, or even having a conversation with those in your life or a certain way of behaving, what you want to ask is 2 questions to yourself. The first one is, does my soul approve of this? Is this something that my soul agrees with? And you can do that just by tuning into your soul and allowing your soul to answer that question of, if I'm going to move forward in this way, is this something that my soul would do if my soul were fully expressed? And then the second question is, does this serve my community, even if it's just one person, that I would have that sense of satisfaction of being of service to the community? So first, my soul is in agreement with it. It feels in alignment with who I am. And then it's something that serves the community or even myself. Because sometimes we have to put on our own oxygen masks first, right? Sometimes caring for ourselves is serving the community because that allows us to show up more. So asking those 2 questions of, is this in my authenticity and does it serve? That can really help you start to move away from that external validation, and that validation is coming from first your soul and then knowing that it's being of service to others. If you're in the middle of this shift where you're getting out of these external validation loops and trying to find your own inner voice, Monty and I would love to invite you to the Awakened Authenticity community, where Monty shares channeled weekly messages and tools to help you move forward in alignment with your own soul work and your own soul evolution. We'd love to welcome you in there. You can also sign up for our free preview at the link in the show notes if you'd like to give it a go and see what sort of information you can find in there. If this episode resonated, please share it with somebody else or give us a review on your favorite podcasting platform, as this helps our channel material reach many more people, to help many more people understand the essence within themselves is the most important thing in their lives. Until next time, remember that your soul is the determiner of what validation you need. And we'll see you in the next one.